So I really have a lot of excitement for what this week can bring in terms of prices, in terms of movement. And yes, we've started off on a crap note to begin the day. All right. Yes, I see that we're red. What happened overnight definitely sucks. It impacted Shiba Inu and other assets around the space. We'll talk about that briefly. But what we've been seeing over the last 3 months is something very interesting in terms of whales. This has dropped off significantly. And I want to talk about what is exactly happening there, because this is something that, although right now it's quiet, tends to ramp up the closer we get to these breakouts. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So yes, SHIB is back within trend. This is, guys, this is exactly why I said I wasn't getting too excited about that candle yet yesterday. We started a little bit of a breakout. We came back down, but the reason why this happened didn't really have anything to do with SHIB. It actually had to do with Ethereum, and I'll get to this in just a moment. But know that we came back down to those support ranges like we're talking about. We're still basically building a descending triangle right here. So hopefully we can basically plant our foot in the ground and try to make this surge back to the upside. Not a great way to start the week, but the reason why we actually dropped was because Ethereum dropped. And you have to ask yourself, why did Ethereum drop? Well, Ethereum dropped because Binance overnight started unloading millions of dollars worth of Ethereum, and it started to tank basically everything. And I use the word tank loosely because we're down like 4%, right? It's really not that big of a deal. It's not that serious of a drop. It's just another sucky Monday. Okay. Now, that being said, you guys may notice here that Ethereum is actually basically, wow, if I could draw a straight line, Ethereum has basically fallen right back onto its trend here, right? And it's going to try to make a rebound back to the upside, probably one of these next few days. This isn't a guarantee or financial advice or anything like that. And that means that SHIB is going to try to do something very similar because, again, ETH can drag up Shiba Inu as long as SHIB remains consistent, as long as we're not getting things too far outside of the norm when it comes to Shiba Inu. Now, that being said, what we have seen fall off pretty significantly over the last 3 months is actually whale activity. It's plunged by 79%. So whales were actually incredibly active, and they were pretty instrumental in our last big run to the upside. And I'm talking about when Shiba Inu actually ran basically from August 5th, all the way up to those heights in the early part of December. Whales were accumulating, pushing price up, and then they started obviously taking profits, selling some of their bags, right? Well, what's interesting is the last few months here, we've talked about whales a lot. And this consistent theme for whales is even though activity has been quite low, they've been consistently adding and adding and adding. In fact, even yesterday, as we went on a retracement, or this morning, as we went on a retracement, the whales have continued to add. They've continued to build their positions. And I think that's actually a very good sign because, I've seen some people say that whales are suppressing price or the reason that price is down. And that's not it at all. Whales are net positive from back here. Whales have bought and bought and bought and actually tried to defend price. And unfortunately, this low whale activity hasn't been enough to hold price up. And it's because retail sentiment has been so terrible. Okay. Understand that retail is the main driver of Shiba Inu. Whales can help hold and start trends, but retail is essential for movements to the upside. And while we were starting to see a little bit of shift in retail sentiment right here, we're kind of back down in terms of price. So today is once again a cool day in terms of sentiment. We've fallen back down to the 40. It wouldn't surprise me if, we get to the end of this day, if we're still red, if we do in fact fall back into neutral. And what we haven't really done is started attacking the greed section yet. There's not that huge, overwhelming sense of confidence in the crypto market. It's improving. It's getting better. We're starting to see the right trends across the market, but it just hasn't been quite enough to tip the scales quite yet. That will in fact change. Okay. There will be accumulation that takes place. I'm sure institutional players will start accumulating once again. BTC is still showing some resilience around 96K. The market is not that bad per se. All that's happening right now is capitulation. People calling it quits, not being able to weather the storm. The last several days were 3 months, 4 months in terms of average hold time for transacted tokens. So you're starting to see, again, some of those longer term holders just call it quits and say, oh, nothing's going to happen. The problem is there's too much bearish sentiment in the market for where we're at. And I think people forget where we're at. They forget that we're on the verge of mass adoption. They forget that there's this embrace of crypto here in the US, right? There's going to be a big wave that hits. And although it hasn't hit quite yet, it's going to be the wave that you really don't want to miss out on. Now, again, people can do whatever the hell they want. I really don't care. I just give you guys this information so you can make decisions for yourself. But the point I want to make is eventually all these, we'll call it manipulative practices, all this crap that's going on behind the scenes, it will either go away or will in fact be drowned out by the big wave that is coming. So yes, today sucks. I do want to remind people that, as we've gone through some of these weekends before where we've done what we needed to do, which SHIB did do what it needed to do, we have had some Mondays that have resulted in dumps, that have resulted in lower prices, and then subsequent rebounds back to the upside. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It sucks what happens. It is what it is. We have large LPs with ETH. So when ETH falls out of trend, SHIB is going to do the same thing. And unfortunately, retail sentiment is the last thing that needs to finally shift that positive direction. Enough of a overwhelmingly positive push to keep prices on the breakouts, to keep them moving to the upside and start testing some of these resistances at higher levels, higher zip codes. So I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.